we're sure that Mr. Yenyos is not here and I'm not taking someone else's time. Okay. So, having used your part of your bodies all this time today, so it's mainly your ears, your eyes, and, you know, a little bit more, I want to bring now the attention to the whole of the body, which is to do with dance and how dance is incorporated in working with people with dementia in this specific lecture, but I believe in dance generally. I have worked with autistic children with dance. So now, okay, I'll do it quickly, and I know you must be feeling a bit tired. Yes, if you want to do something with your body, you're allowed to do it at this point. You can do anything you like and stretch and just feel where you are at this moment. Scratch maybe, I don't know. Just drink some water, bring yourself back to feeling what your body tells you. I will quickly go through some facts about dementia. They're not very happy facts because they say that like in 2050 there'll be over 100 million people suffering with dementia because the population of the world is aging very quickly. And dementia is a problem that affects, like most problems that people have to face. It's not just the family, it's society, and it's a political funding issue at the moment, as you can imagine, because if we're going to have so many people with dementia, research and funding has to be aimed towards it. I don't know, has any one of you seen the recent film, Still Alice? Yes? Okay, that film showed how a young person at the age of 50, because it's my age, so I'm young, got dementia, thank you, because of the gene. And it's quite dramatic. I got a huge herpes from looking at the film. And it's very fearful. But it didn't show at all in the film the happy aspect of working with people with dementia because they're still a whole person, despite what has happened. What happens with dementia is you lose your identity. By starting forgetting is like starting losing parts of yourself. It's quite frightening. So obviously, it's fearful for us when we start forgetting, and we live in a world that many of us do so many things, and when you do many things, you start forgetting because your brain has to do some economy, you know, so you delete a few things, and then there's the fear, oh my God, I'm starting to have Alzheimer's. That's the most common name for dementia that people use. It doesn't mean that dementia is only Alzheimer's. There are many types of dementia, but we won't go into this at the moment. So dance movement therapy. This is my profession. I'm a dance movement therapist. I have worked for many years with special needs children, a lot of autistic children, and adults and elderly. I still do, and I'm actually doing now a degree in counseling. And in my practice, I went to an institution for people with dementia. And I said, I want to do counseling. They said, no, we'd rather you do dance movement therapy. I said, okay. It was not easy. There is a video, I'm talking away from there, but I shout a lot, so it's probably better that I talk away from there. There's not too many people. So, okay, dance movement therapy links emotion, how we feel, with motion. And this is something that is understandable if we just pay a little bit of attention to how we express ourselves. It's very, very, very simple. How would our body react if we feel that we're being attacked? You know, you'll probably, there's some sort of quick movement towards it. Or how would the body react if you're seeing someone that you really want to go and hug because you haven't seen them for a long time? Your body will react. So motion and emotion are very linked, and this is what we work on. And it's beyond exercise. So it's different if you work out. There's not much emotion going on there, isn't there? Well, maybe a bit of narcissistic emotion, I don't know, but, you know, but that's about it. And there's difference if I'm moving with somebody and I'm starting to sense a little bit of how do they feel? How am I moving with them? There we start communicating. Now I can see my two ladies back there. Is it Rebecca and Teresa? No? Tell me your names. No, I got it wrong. Yes, you too. What are your names? Esther and Silvina. Okay, sorry. Esther and Silvina. I got it totally wrong. I went through the whole program. They showed me something that was very, I want to say it before I forget, so important for me. They said about tango, you both come from Argentina. If you can hug and if you can walk, you can tango. Okay. And that's so amazing because the research has really shown that for people with Parkinson's disease especially, tango, waltz, and a lot of the couple dances work very brilliantly for them. And of course, it means that you can hug and you can walk with them. And symbolically, for us dance movement therapists, that's all it's about. It's caring for somebody and walking along with them. And you're actually walking along with them towards the end of their life. This is really what's happening. So it's quite, it was a very interesting experience for me. So it's to do with transforming fear that the person is facing. It's very disturbing. I have seen it in the face of the people when they suddenly don't know where they are. Or they suddenly remember that they want to go home, and yet they're home. It's a very confusing malfunction, illness, disease, I don't know what to call it. It's very alarming, and it's fearful. When they get involved in moving and remembering, you can start a song. You'll see a video of the amazing people here have managed to get the videos onto this, which I couldn't. So you'll see very, very short strips of what I mean about dancing and moving. So dancing and moving has to do with the body and the mind in combination. So even to blink, when I think about it, I'm starting to do something different. You can use that, you can play with your eyes. It immediately means something else. So my body, my mind, and then there's a spirituality aspect. There's many aspects that come into it. But when we're working with, especially with vulnerable people who have dementia, we respect their personhood, their autonomy, and their dignity by simply reflecting them. So we're talking about quality of life. And it's non-verbal, okay? There could be song that comes out, there could be sound, there could be just clapping, but it certainly improves the way they're feeling at the moment. So yes, it's all the little things. It could be just a change, a small shift in a smile, or maybe just a clap, or just a little tiny movement that could be what actually means someone participating. Or it could be even showing someone that does not want to participate, and that's accepted as well. So we are accepting. And the idea is promoting quality of life. So this is what Mr. Stanislavski says, that the body can provide a direct route to the emotions, as we have just seen, and in every physical action, unless it is purely mechanical, there is concealed some inner action and some feeling. So, okay, we're talking about an embodied psychotherapeutic approach. I don't want to go too much into the details. I'm sure your brains are already filled with information. Kinetic empathy, kinesthetic empathy means that I can actually move with somebody a little bit. I can even take, I can take a small movement and start from there. It can be anything that someone does, and that immediately shows to that person, I'm being acknowledged. I'm being seen. Oh my God, I make an impact. It doesn't take more for someone who usually is ignored, because their new behavioral movement is the symptom of dementia, or whatever, the autistic symptom, or whatever symptom. So any kind of movement which could be conveying some nonverbal communication is regarded as a symptom, and not as someone who's actually trying to say something. So this is where we come in and communicate non-verbally. Blah, blah, blah. So again, the loss of control is a big issue. And it's obvious to others. And, you know, we're not talking about the loss of control. It's not the loss of memory. It's the loss of being able to do things. It's the loss of being able to be stable. It's the loss of even controlling your bowels. It's the loss of being maybe at your own home anymore. So it's a gradual loss, and yet you have flashes of yourself which is still there. And the worst thing is that physically there's no real change unless you get to the really, really late stages of dementia when the distortion comes. But on the way, the person is the same. So there, yeah, there's the danger. What they feel is they're falling apart. So we work on making them feeling still together, still whole. This is just another good internet technological picture I found, which is quite how we lose aspects of ourselves, and that can make us more irritable. It definitely makes, there's also comorbidity with depression, and of course isolation. So in the mood, I put the music, even if it's something that maybe some of you know this song. So it triggers positive emotions, and this is Mr. Guzman Garcia and so on have done a lot of research that have proved how the types of tango, ballroom dancing, and so on help. Again, I want to tap in with the previous, the autistic lecture. My idea about autism is when I had a beautiful picture, I don't have it this time. So all these people are dancing together, but they're all got their own music. So they're in the same space, but they've got their own little earphones, and they're all dancing. I mean, even this is a bit autistic if you think about it. You know, there's a bit of repetitive kind of movement in a lot of modern society dance. And dance usually reflects the movement of society. So the older dances, on the one hand, connect to the people of that age. It's easier for them to listen to this music and to dance to this, to move to this music. And it also is, it has more contact. And this is something, so it's about touch. Okay, so it's the tactile experiences with which dance and movement therapists can use in order to honor the person. And imagine that these people are usually touched by people who want to wash them really quickly, or give them their food, or give them their medication, and that's it. So you can imagine how reactive. Yes? You want me to cut? Did I see some movement there? Τελειώνω? Ah, I keep moving away from the microphone. Okay. So touch. Touch is an amazing experience when it's non-invasive and it honors the person. We said about, basal ganglia, which are part of the brain that works with balance and so on, and motor behavior, is found that it has been activated during dance and so on. So there is some research that proves a lot of this aspect of this work. And I really want to just move on to the videos, because I think video says everything. So what we talked about empowerment in the beginning, in the entrance of this conference, that we generally, I think psychotherapy has to do with empowerment. So I really do believe that in this video, although it's only 2 or 3 seconds, you can see what we mean. I am very honored that Emily Berry, who is a friend of mine and dancer, came to where I worked as a dance therapist. Now, that I have to give you a small intro. The ideal, you will see in a video on the BBC, how dance helps people with dementia. Okay, there's 1-to-1. So there's the carer, the person with dementia, there's a live musician who plays the music, and there's the dance therapist. That's the ideal. Where I was, there were 30 people almost, all around the place, and most of the time I was by myself with my CD player. So it's not easy. The reality in some of the videos is not what the reality in real action in Greece at the moment is. But anyway, I had the honor of having a dancer come in so she can communicate non-verbally. Do we have you can see the dancer, you can see all of the people. I want you to slowly see the reaction. Look how, in the class, can you see? Do we need to lower the light? I can see it really well here. Shall I go back again? Is that better? Can you see better now? Okay. Like they're doing something. So I just wanted to give you a few moments on what does it mean for someone to simply move in front of somebody else. They were moved. Something happened. Their mood changed. Even the people next to them, their mood changed. Okay, there's another small little video, which is me, but this is just to show you. It doesn't work very well, so never mind. It just shows that I use music that is known and slow usually, so they can tune in and catch on with what's going on and slowly, slowly be moved. So, you know, it's all symbolic, being moved, being touched. So dance can attune with the life qualities, and that's the whole idea. And the conclusion, you can make your own conclusions, and thank you very much.